welcome back. It's your favorite girl, EWATOMI. Today I have my bestie with me, Tunde.
Yes,
Sup knuckle.
yes, so.
Alright, me atata. Yeah. If this is your first time, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification button to get notification every time I upload new video. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support, your love, your comments. Thank you all. Thank you. Today we're going to be talking about what is education, what we think education is. And so Tunde is going to be lecturing us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, this topic has always been on my mind because I have few things that I want to do eventually. I've always wanted to enlighten people whenever maybe I travel to Nigeria or even back here, especially with the African communities. Because we black people, we tend to believe education is something, and I feel that even the European people that brought education to us see it as something else, which is even bigger than what we think. The first mistakes I believe parents make in this new age, well, even back in the days as well, while we were growing up, is that education is just for you to go to have a formal education, go to secondary school, primary school, graduate from the university, and that's when you are educated. I beg to differ, because I believe knowledge is education.
Of course.
So you cannot tell me now that someone who is a professional footballer knows all the in and out of football is not educated. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
I believe education can come from anywhere, any aspect of life. It could be sports, it could be business, it could be anything, politics, it could be anything.
But some people can argue with what you're saying.
I know, and that's why
you're saying what you're saying literally is that to be a footballer, you don't need to go to school.
Yes, you don't, because that's what I understand. A lot of people will argue about this because
so you can be a literate and still go to
definitely because I'll give you a good example. For example, if you see these young English players that have become millionaires out of football, when they grow up, while they're growing up from age 5 or 6, their parents put them into an academy to study or to learn how to do that sport.
But they still go to school.
I do,
because now you're saying let's think about the African way. You're telling them in Africa, your child don't need to go to school before they can be a footballer without going to school. So a child that can write their name, then you're telling them to just go to football.
No, but that's a formal education you're talking about.
So what you're saying now that we don't need a formal education.
I'm saying that we should not all hide under formal education as the only means of education.
Okay.
Because that's how a lot of Africans miss out from huge opportunities in the world.
True.
Because when you channel all your energy into one thing and say, okay, for example, look at the education system of Nigeria, or most African countries are suffering right now because everybody is into one thing. We're all thinking, when I do economics, when I do business management, when I do banker,
lawyer.
You see, even in the media aspect, you see people that are doctors that have become media persons.
Yeah.
Because people are into the wrong, they have wrong concepts of what education really means. For me, for example, when you have a child, it's good to give them formal education.
Yeah.
Don't let's get it wrong.
Yes, that's very important.
That's very important, so that they can actually communicate with the society they find themselves in. But that's not all about education. That's not where education ends.
Yes.
Do you get what I mean? If you have a child that is talented, you feel that he is more into other aspects of other educational systems like sports or what have you, you can educate them in those things as well.
For example, things that we Africans don't actually see, like drawing.
Yes.
You know,
Being an artist, yes.
You know, it's very
yes.
It's very important. You see your child that is really good in drawing, and you just feel like, wait. Dr. Luma, doctor or lawyer.
Exactly.
You know, there's so many things that in Africa we don't see it as, we see it as nothing.
Yeah. And it's a very
it's a very
very wrong concept. I'll give you a good example of a story I heard. He's a professional mixed martial art fighter. He's into the UFC. I know a lot of people know about him. Kamaru Usman is a welterweight champion, and basically his parents sent him to the college because he was born over there, but he still represents Nigeria. So his parents sent him to college where he was doing wrestling. Imagine someone going to a college to learn wrestling. And eventually, I think, I'm not too sure, but I think he didn't he didn't go into university or whatnot to complete any formal education. He went into the sport of mixed martial arts. And you can't tell me today that he is not educated. He is educated in his own profession, because whatever comes out or we are going to talk about in terms of that sport or in terms of mixed martial arts,
he knows about
it. So he is informed and he is educated. I believe whatever we learn through our lifetime,
just because he didn't go to university does not mean he's not educated.
Exactly. And these things are affecting us back in Africa.
Yes,
they are. A lot of people that are talented in comedy, that are talented in all these media things that we don't put our eyes in. We have comedians that are multi-millionaires. You know, we have comedians that if they go to school of comedy to actually learn the talent they have, you know, exploit their own talent, they will become amazing future. You know, if you go to to America, for example, you find people like that short man, what's he called, Kelvin Hart. He's making millions. He's making waves in comedy. And then you have, even in Nigeria as well, you have a lot of people now that, you know, they've put their education aside, their formal education aside, and have educated themselves into their own talents. You know, so all I'm just saying is this: I understand formal education is very important, but at the same time, we need to understand as well that any talent, God-given talent we've got, or that a child has got while growing up, we need to educate them on that talent as well. Being it football, being it boxing, being it swimming, whatever it may be that they do or that they know how to do or love to do, they should be educated on those things.
I think it's the same thing like job as well. You know, back in Nigeria, there's some jobs that it's nothing. Like, what I mean by it's nothing is they don't take it serious. For example, like maybe mechanic or people that actually take the trash. You know, the way it's just the way they see those kind of jobs is like an educated person can't do it. Meanwhile, people are making money for me here. You get what I mean? So it's like that as well. But back in Nigeria, you end up seeing people that educated and they're doing that job, but because people see it as a dirty job, they don't respect them.
And you know, now people are going back in time. What I mean by that is, you know, back in the days, people will go to college, they'll go to university, get a degree, and then get a job. Now it's even more difficult for people that have gone through that formal educational system to even secure a job that can even survive them. Now you see, I'm a plain example of that because, for example, my own younger sister who went to University of Agriculture in Nigeria came out with a top distinction. She's actually a fashion designer now. Because while she was in school, she was also educating herself in that aspect of fashion designing, learning how to sew, how to do things. And now she's out. She can't even get a job. You understand? She has to fall back on that second informal education she has learned. So, you know, we need to, I think a lot of parents now are opening their eyes wide now and seeing things in a different way, you know, and I feel that that is what people should we should emphasize more on that, because now educate, even in the Europe, in Europe, European countries as well. You know that just saying I went to university. I remember working long time ago when I was still a student with a graduate in art. I was working with him in Tesco. Yes, he's a white man and he graduated. He couldn't find a job. So I don't want to call it a second choice, because educating in any aspect of life is the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. All these people we're seeing on TV now doing any sort of sports that we love so much, if you ask them, they will tell you, at the age of 6 I put on my first gloves, at the age of 7 I put on my first boots, at the age of this, because all this education, or educating people in all these aspects, you have to start from young.
Yeah.
So it's a learning curve as well. They all don't know how to do it miraculously. They had to go through some sort of maybe academy or some sort of training to be able to acquire that knowledge, because it is knowledge as well.
Of course.
It is knowledge. You cannot tell me that, you know, someone who swims for a living was not educated about swimming. You can't just jump into water, you know,
a lot of risk.
let alone go to Olympics to go and swim for a nation. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but it is not a formal education, you understand? But it is an education on itself, an educating system on itself, on its own. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Oh, may God help us, yeah.
So, this is just a message that I would like to pass to my brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, father and mothers at home, from wherever you're watching us. Don't let us make a mistake, the mistake that our own fathers or mothers have made in the past, and always depend on formal education to success in life. It's not the only success or key or way of succeeding in life. Yes, it's important in every child development or growth that we go through in life, but we need to also invest in ourselves, check deep in our children, whatever talents they've got, whatever God-given talent they've got, and then we can educate them in that aspect as well, so we can achieve the best we can out of that from them. So that's just my message. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, like you said, check yourself, check what you're good at, and educate yourself. And don't forget, education is not preparation for life. Education, it's life itself. Thank you so much. And Tunde, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you for coming. And anyway, you have no choice. You're going to come next time. So guys, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and please share for them, share to your friend, keep sharing till your girl is popular, and please, if you like it, click on the like button, and please comment, tell me what you think, what education is. Just share your comment. Thank you so much. Ciao.